All right, and good evening, everyone. Captain Jack here, ready to get ready for takeoff from Albuquerque. We're going to fly to Phoenix this evening. We expect a flight time of about an hour and 17 minutes. Hope you're doing well and had a good week. Had to skip last week because I was really flying as I was heading out to visit grandchildren in Indiana. So we've got a couple of different views for you this evening, a couple of different things to look at, and we'll continue to refine this stream as we go along. Once again, we are at Albuquerque, New Mexico. Let me bring this up here and we'll go ahead and change to that view and we'll take you outside the aircraft. Now, you'll notice that Microsoft Flight Simulator is doing something really strange this evening. For some reason, the jetway is crossing through the airplane and over to the other side. I have no idea. It's not going to hamper what we're doing here, so we'll get started up. Sometimes the software is just absolutely nuts and crazy. So anyway, if you look at it like that, it almost looks right. So we'll get into the cockpit here. I've already set up a few things, but the first thing we want to do is go ahead and start loading our passengers. We're going to have a full flight tonight. Fuel is already on board. We'll see we're at 14.5 1,000 pounds of fuel there, and we don't need to fuel up anymore. We'll go ahead and start loading our passengers. So once again, a full flight, so we're going to go for the full 148 passengers, and we're going to get them started boarding right now, and we'll see that change. The first passenger will come on board, and the second one will then go, and there's number 3, and so on and so forth. All right. While we're doing that and getting passengers in here, we'll get started on programming the FMC. So our reference airport, of course, is going to be KABQ, which is, of course, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we've got the position in there. That's ready to go. KABQ is going to be our origin. KPHX is our destination airport. We're going to fly to Phoenix. Once again, that's going to take probably about an hour and 17 minutes in the air. So we'll see how that goes. Graham, good evening. Good morning to you. And nice to have you here. By the way, let me know if you're watching. Get in the chat room. It's right there. And at least say hello and let me know that you are there. I know I need to lower the volume on the microphone a little bit. As you see, I'm using a new headset. I actually built the microphone part of this headset yesterday and thought we'd give that a try. So y'all can let me know if the audio sounds a little bit better. You won't have to worry about me turning my head off mic and then you losing my audio here this evening. Like I said, we do this for fun, and we're just going to enjoy ourselves. All right, so our company route this evening is going to be KABQ to KPHX. And we'll load that, and we'll hit activate, and we'll execute. Tonight, of course, we are Southwest 523. We're going to be Southwest 523, and we are going to try to use air traffic control a little bit this evening, too. We'll see if they speak to us. So there you go. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Graham, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. That sounds good. All right, we'll go to our performance initiative here. I already know that our flight plan over here calls for 12.1 thousand pounds of fuel, or 12,100, but I've got to enter it this way in the FMC. We've already got 14.8 thousand pounds of fuel on board. That's already loaded in there, so our zero fuel weight is going to come up here at 94. All right, that looks good there. Although we're going to re-hit that a little bit later after we get our passengers boarded. Right now we've got 43 passengers out of 148. Okay, back over to this FMC. Our reserve fuel is going to be 21.6, so we'll call that 22 even. Pull that out just a little bit to where I can see it a little bit better. So 22 point, I'm sorry, 2.1. So we'll go back to 2.1. I'll get it punched in here correct in just a minute. Looking over on our flight plan, our cost index is going to be 5 here, so we'll go ahead and enter that. Wanted to let's see. Let me clear something on my other screen over here. So there we go. I see that there's 4 of you watching tonight. Thank you so much. Um, Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and let me know where you are. Let me know who you are and where you are there in the chat window so I can say hi to you here in just a few minutes. All right, let's go ahead and continue our programming. Our cruise level is going to be flight level 380 or 38,000 feet, so we'll enter that. And we'll go over to our flight plan once again, see what our top of climb winds are going to be. So winds are going to be out of 265 at 47 knots. So that is going to be a little bit of a headwind. But let's go ahead and get that entered in. All right, that page looks good. Everything is good there. We'll hit execute. We'll go to our N1 limit. I generally enter in a value of 32 in the select outside air temperature just to help us with our takeoff rates. So the takeoff rates are now set. All right, we know we're going to use flaps 5 on takeoff, and we'll get our aircraft center of gravity here at 22.4. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to come and set our trim wheel. And our trim wheel, once again, looking up on our plan there, is going to be 4.78. So we've got to go down a little bit. Jay, hello in Laramie, Wyoming. Glad to see you back with us here tonight as we fly to Phoenix from Albuquerque. So we got to roll the trim wheel back, set the takeoff trim on the aircraft. And that, of course, gets us where we need to be during our rollout and V1, V2 rates. All right, 4.28 approximately in there. There's a nice view outside, and let's go ahead and check here our passengers. We got 87 passengers aboard, so that's good. We also know that we've already loaded the bag. Actually, we have not loaded the baggage yet. Yep, that's something that I didn't get set up for just a minute ago. So looking at our flight plan, let's go back there. And we're going to have a payload of 6.9, so about 3450 each. So we'll go ahead and enter 3450 pounds for there, and we're going to split it even, 3450 pounds in payload for the backside. We'll go ahead and call in the baggage loaders. We'll get those going. And we'll take a look outside the plane here, and here come our baggage loaders. Pretty cool. All right, there's one. We'll let him go ahead and get started, and we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, so we're not going to set our V1, V2, and VR speeds just yet because we're going to need to know some of the other information that we'll have about our departure and arrival. So we'll go ahead and bring up departure on KABQ. We know we're going to take off on runway 03 this evening, according to the flight plan. And that's going to give us a star of RDRNR3, however you might say that. The transition will be Zun, Z-U-N. Execute on that. The arrival airport is KPHX. In Phoenix, it tells us we're going to be landing on runway 26, and we'll have a star of Eagle 6 and Zun. Works out the same way there on the flight plan. All right, we'll go to our legs page now. We're going to check for any discontinuities or any problems there. All right, it tells us unable 270 knots at 10 ends. Okay, that's all right. We can fix that in the flight plan a little bit later. Let's go ahead and go through there. Those are all good. Those are all good on the approaches. Hey, how about that? No discontinuities or any other issues there. So that'll be pretty cool and make it a little bit easier. All right, flight plan is looking good. We're going to go back now and we're going to check our V1, V2, and VR speeds. All right, so we'll set that. So we always set for V2 plus 15. So we're going to look for a takeoff speed of about 136 knots. So we will set that in the MPC for 136. You can see I've already set our cruise altitude at 38,000 feet. We'll need a heading of 036. for the takeoff on the runway. So we'll set that up and into the heading bug. One other thing I did tonight, guys, is I tried to make everything look a little bit sharper here on the main flight displays, so you'd be able to read those. One of my friends had told me that they looked a little fuzzy, and so we tried to make those better. So you can let me know how well that works tonight. We'll reset that. We're going to go over to the main checklist now. Have the main checklist here in front of me. Let's get started with that. I know the parking brake is set, battery is on, standby power is on. That's all set up stuff. Ground power, let's check our ground power voltage up here. Yep, we're looking good at 402. We're on the ground power setting. Left and right IRS mode switches are on and set, so we have some navigational information coming in. That is good. We're going to go ahead and hit our little dings here and listen to this. I hope you guys were able to hear that. I could hear it in my headphones here, so that's neat. All right, window heat. We're going to go ahead and turn on the window heats up here, and we'll give the probe heats a go. We know that we're not going to have to fuel stuff, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the fuel pump for the APU. And the APU is up and running. We see that up and running. That's good. While we're over here, I'm going to go ahead and set the flight atmospheric altitude in the airplane to 38,000 feet. And we're going to turn on the APU bleed. We're going to check and see our left and right packs are off. Isolation valve is open. We're seeing some duct pressure start to build up. That looks good. All right, now we can go ahead and go on the APU bus, and we're going to go on the APU bus. Before we release ground power, we'll go up and check our APU gen. That looks good at 115 and 402. So everything is good there. 29 amps. Everything looks really good on the APU. So we'll go ahead now and turn off the ground power, which I just did there. And we'll go back to our okay, we can start the baggage loading. So while we're here now, we can go ahead and release the ground power, and we'll go outside the aircraft here and try to take a quick look at that. The airport's in the way. Here's our ground power buggy, and it has disconnected from the aircraft, so we're good. This jetway, breezeway really just kind of blows my mind there. Okay, let's go back over here and looks here. Okay, that's good. We're set there. Let me get my brain back on track here. Okay, 148 passengers. All right, they are there. That means we can release the jetway. So just for grins, let's release the jetway and go back outside here and see what it does. Okay, jetway is releasing. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen. I've never seen the jetway do this to the aircraft. We may have to push back through the jetway. The aircraft is parked in the right spot. Too funny. Too funny. By the way, I want to say hello to everybody else who's joined tonight. Welcome to the flight to Albuquerque, or to Phoenix from Albuquerque. Captain Jack. I'm the real Captain Jack. You know, I've always thought if there was ever a pilot named Jack on a Southwest aircraft, it'd be real funny if he went, "Aye, evening everyone. It's a real Captain Jack, and tonight we be flying." You know, like Barbosa. So, all right. Enough of that. Okay, we are good here. Let's go ahead and look through all this passenger services, baggage handling. We're still filling up with the baggage there, so at this moment we'll go ahead and go through the rest of the checklist here. All right, probe heat we saw was on. Probe heat is on. That looks good. Anti-ice, we're not going to worry about. The engine hydraulic pumps are on. The electrics are off. Switch those. The trim air, this aircraft does not have a trim air switch, so we don't need that. The 737-800 does. Left and right recirc fans are, let's take to auto, that's good. fuel's loaded, cruise and landing altitude set. All right, let's see what our landing altitude is going to be at Phoenix. I don't know that one right off the top of my head, so I'm going to go over to my other iPad over here that gives me an awful lot of information, and we'll find out that the field elevation at Phoenix is 1,138 feet. So we're going to set our landing altitude for our aircraft pressurization to about 1,100. We'll just call it 1,100. Or 1150. That gets us even better. 1135 is the airfield altitude at Phoenix. So that's good. All right, on through the rest of the checklist here. Isolation valve. All right, that is open. Fuel is loaded. Cruise and landing altitudes, passenger and cargo being loaded, fasten belts. The C, we'll go ahead and put that in the auto position. All right, that's good. Altimeter QNH set. I did that a little while ago. The QNH here, the altimeter is going to be set for 3001 is what ATIS told me, so we do have ATIS just a moment ago. I got that. APU is on. APU gen is on. The bleeds are on. The APU ACDC voltmeter is set. All right, at this time we're going to go ahead and turn on the flight directors. So the flight directors are coming on now. A little further. Hopefully you guys can read most of the console there. That's kind of what I was aiming for. All right, auto throttle is verified off both there and on my switch on my Bravo throttle quadrant, so that's good. Altitude, cruise altitude is set. We're going to reset the fuel flow rate there, so that goes to 0. That's good. Landing gear lever is down, verified. Speed brake lever is down. Thrust levers are down. Start levers are cut off, and the yaw damper. We'll go back to our overhead panel for the yaw damper, and the yaw damper is set. So once again, if you're watching on the stream tonight, welcome to Flight 523 from Albuquerque to Phoenix. Captain Jack here, and I'd like to know who you are, if you would. In the chat window, just say hello, if you would, and let me know maybe where you're watching. That would be kind of fun to get to know. All right, the overhead panel is set, and I believe we're going to be able to go ahead and get our pushback started. We're going to do a straight out pushback. So we're going to use, we got to go to here. Okay, the baggage is all loaded. Good. We can release the baggage carts. We'll get rid of those. Let them get out of the way. We're not going to remove the wheel chocks just yet. I'm going to come over to my captain's FMC, and we're going to come back to the menu, and we're going to go to FMC Actions, and we want to set up for pushback. Straight out pushback. That looks good. We want to make sure the little baggage carts and everything get out of the way. Once again, that crazy, crazy jetway here. All right, we're waiting for that to remove, and we're going to select our pushback tug. And the pushback tug is in position. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and signal our. Okay, we really don't have tower, ground, or clearance here at Albuquerque, so I'm going to use the Unicom frequency of 122.88, and we're going to announce our intention to push back. Albuquerque Unicom, Southwest 523, ready for pushback from the gate and proceed to runway 03. We do have ATIS. Do not have an announcement on the name, but you're ready for pushback. This is Southwest 523. Okay. Let's see. You know, guys, you're asking me, was HD on last time? And you're saying 480p. I thought I was transmitting a little higher than that. All right, I'll work on that. That'll be next. I'm still learning how to do all the streaming stuff. All right, so we are ready for pushback. So let's get started on pushback and go ahead and hit start.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start straight back. Roger that. Ready for push straight back. Brakes off.
Okay. Parking brakes off.
Brakes released.
And waiting for them to get started. All right, there we go. We'll get clear of that silly jetway, and we'll go ahead and get an engine start here. Once we get clear of that and get that out of the way, and go ahead for right engine or number 2 engine start, and we'll watch for our engine start here. Okay. N1 is coming up. We'll go to the end of the yellow line there. All right, we're going to introduce fuel. And we're going to start engine number 1. All right, go to ground on engine number 1 and back down here and watch for startup. And we're going to pop back out here for just a minute. And let's go ahead and get, let's go ahead and stop. Okay, engines are starting up nicely. Go ahead and introduce fuel. And we're going to set the parking brake. And we're going to clear the tug. All right. Tug is cleared. Let's make sure he's out of the way. All right. Okay, we have good engine starts. We'll be ready for the generators here in just a second. Okay, and the engine start switches has gone to off, so we'll go ahead and pop on generator number 2. And we should give those some fuel as well, and the engine electrics are now on. All right. That looks good. All right, let's check Gen 1. Voltage and current look good on Gen 1. Gen 2, voltage and current look good. All right, and we're going to turn the packs on, and the isolation valve goes to auto. APU bleed is off. APUs are off. And we're going to be good for taxi now, so as we get ready to taxi. Yeah, I know, Jay, watch your head, right, when that jetway passed through. You know, I'm sending enough stream here that I thought I would be at more than 720p. I'll look into that, and we'll see what the issue is. I'm not sure why that occurred that way. It tells me my stream bit rate is actually higher than the recommended bit rate, so don't know what's going on. We'll fix that out. I am not an expert at this by any stretch of the imagination. All right, so we're cleared to take off on runway 03. So it looks like we're going to take taxiway Charlie and then down to taxiway Foxtrot and get ready to line up on the runway. So let's go ahead and make our traffic announcement here. Albuquerque Unicom, Southwest 523, ready for taxi via Charlie and Foxtrot to runway 03. Beginning taxi, Southwest 523. All right. Parking brake off. Taxi lights are on. So we're going to be taking off slightly to the northeast and then making a quick turn left to the west, of course, to head for Phoenix. All right, here we are on taxiway Charlie. Hey, Graham or Jay, let me know if you're hearing the aircraft sounds tonight. That was another thing that I was going to work on was the aircraft sounds. Let me know if you guys can hear that okay here this evening. All right, so we're actually going a little bit faster than we need to be. Normally, aircraft taxi at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And we'll go ahead and get a view out the side window. Boy, we're going to be taking off right for what's the name of the mountain there? Okay, Graham, thanks. That's good to hear. I can lower. Okay, good. You can hear the engines and the switches. All right, go ahead and turn on to taxiway Foxtrot here. Yeah, the mountain that's there, the big mountain on the east side of Albuquerque, I know it perfectly well, but its name is totally escaping me this evening for some reason. All right, let's turn our auto throttle on. No, let's not have it click on us, so let's do that. Okay, taxiing down. We're still at about 20 miles an hour, but that'll just make the takeoff a little quicker. Let's go ahead and set our flaps to 5. Let's look at the rest of the checklist here. As I go through there, all of those are set. We did the packs, we did the bleeds, the flaps are set, taxi lights are on, runway turnoff, we don't need them this evening. And then the next set of instructions will be before takeoff, down on the runway. Once again, want to say hello to all of you viewing tonight. Would ask that you get on there on the chat real quick. Let me know who you are and where you're watching. That would be really awesome. Smash that thumbs up for me as well if you have not yet, and I appreciate those of you who have. Okay, we're continuing on down. We're about halfway down Foxtrot. I'll try to show you this on the camera real quick. I'm actually using an app called flightplan.go, and if I can get that in there, you can see the little blue airplane moving down the taxiway there on your left. And I use this app for taxiing around airports and also for figuring the final approaches and everything there. I wish I had a way to let you be able to see that just a little bit better, but at this time I don't, so we'll go with that for the moment. You ever notice sometimes you feel like in the time it takes you to taxi somewhere, you could almost drive where you're going. By the time you spend all the time in the airport going through security and everything else, a lot of times you feel like, wow, I could have been halfway there by now. All right, everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and do a little pre-setup here. We're going to set the brakes to RTO. And as we're taxiing down, we're going to go ahead and set the engines to continuous. All right, the overhead panel looks good. Okay, the ATAS and TCAS for the traffic collision avoidance system. We'll go down here and look at that real quick. I've already set that, and we're squawking 7012 unless somebody near Phoenix maybe tells us to squawk something a little later. We will see how that all comes out. Okay, we're coming up to the end of the taxiway here. We're going to make that left turn. Sandia Crest, thank you. F.R. Rosti, if I'm saying that, welcome to the channel tonight. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. All right, we're going to come up to the ready stop bar there. All right, let's go ahead and set the parking brake back one more time. We're going to go through the final takeoff checklist. All right, landing lights, we're going to on and extend them. So they are just turned on right here. I also have a button here on my flight yoke All right, let's see where we are. Heading bug is set to the runway heading. That is correct. We did that a little while ago. Let's set our LNAV and VNAV to on, and they are ready. All right, we are ready for takeoff there. So we'll release the parking brake, and we'll go ahead and get set and in position for takeoff. Actually, we're going to go ahead and do this part. Albuquerque Unicom, Southwest 523, ready for takeoff, runway 03. Southwest 523. All right, we are ready to go. All right, our engines are about 50% and stable. And let's hit Toga, takeoff, go around.
Airspeed's alive.
Airspeed alive, copy.
80 knots.
80 knots checked.
V1. Rotate.
V1, rotate.
V2.
All right, rotating up. Oh, we're kind of off center there.
Positive rate of climb.
All right, gear up. And we're gonna bug the speed up. Our lateral navigation went off for some reason. Not really sure why that happened. There's Sandia Crest out in front of us, you mentioned just a moment ago. Okay, let's get back on our magenta line. Go ahead and give some left rudder here. And flying the aircraft. Okay, we can go up to flaps 1.
2500.
All right, flaps up. Give you an outside view here. Okay, go ahead and bring us back in the cockpit. Climbing through 8,600 feet. Let's go ahead and give you a little view of the instrumentation there. Pretty good takeoff. We're through 10,000 feet. Albuquerque, this is Southwest 523. All right, what's going on? Okay, not sure why we're getting a cabin altitude alarm. Everything is set. All right, this is something I have not seen. Never had those go away. Go ahead and switch the packs to high. Research fan is on. I'm going to hit the autopilot. So we're in autopilot mode. I'm going to quiet that alarm down a little bit. And landing and taxi lights can go off. All right, let's see if we can figure out what the deal is. Okay, we've got that back. All right, we're in auto. Okay, that alarm will go away here in just a minute. I'm not real sure what our malfunction was there. One of the things that I have not done is study a lot of the malfunctions that might occur random. For most of these kind of flights, I try to set those off but that's interesting. And once again, now that has gone away. I think every switch is in the correct position. We've switched everything properly. Fuel pumps are all good, although that wouldn't necessarily be a fuel pump issue. We don't need the wing well light on. Oh, come back here. All right, guys. Well, this is a new one. Not seeing the duct pressure looks good. Our altitude pressure looks good. This would be one of those where I were flying by myself. I would be looking up, okay, what's causing this? Everything's set correct, man. We're looking good. We're coming through transition at 18,000 feet. I think for the time being, I'm going to ignore that alarm. All right, 18,000 feet. We'll set the altitude to standard. And we'll see if it goes away here in just a little bit. In the meantime, we'll make it real quiet and see if it goes away. All right, we're cruising to 38,000 feet. And our top of climb, as we look on the MFD here, is going to be at about 48 miles out away from the airport. We're at a speed of 280 knots, climbing through 19,900 feet. So with the exception of this oddball alarm, got an auto fail indicator. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, this is good. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. There's our problem. You know, this one is on me, and I'll tell you why. Not only did I not shut the door, but normally when you retract the, okay, and it's not letting me close it. That is so weird. Okay, we've had a couple of very interesting malfunctions here tonight. Normally when you roll the jetway away, the doors automatically close, and it did not do that for me this evening. And I tell you what, I'm going to blame the software. I'm going to blame the software. That is too funny. All right, let's see if I can get in here and see if I can straighten this out real quick. If you guys if you guys have any suggestions, co-pilots, let me know. This is too funny. You know, I've been flying now for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, and this has never happened before. Like I said, when that jetway pulls away, here's failures. So let's see. Yeah, see, service-based failures. How about that? Okay. Let's see if we can figure out how to shut this stupid thing. Okay, it's not active, and it should be. Now let's see. Nope. Jump. Graham says jump. Yeah, I like that. I like that. This is just way too funny, isn't it? All right, let's see if I can figure out. I'm going to put that back because I'll read up on some of the documentation later. We may just have to fly this way. But let me see if I can get that door shut. Failures, all systems, service base, program, maintenance, return. No, that's not letting me do it either. If one of you guys want to look it up and how do you shut the door? It's too funny. All right. Well, let's poke around here a little bit and see what we've got. Aircraft. Failures. That's where we were, isn't it? I can't believe that that door did not shut. Well, I don't want to restore something because that might take us out, and we can go ahead and fly this way, but it's definitely a little weird, right? Okay, we're looking up here at the MFD. The top of climb is about 30 miles away at this point. I would be embarrassed, but I'm not going to be embarrassed because we're just doing this for fun. It will not let me close that door. And normally, boy, everything looks good. Everything's good except that doggone door. Okay. Yeah, Graham, I like that jump. That's pretty good. Yeah, I let the software get me because it did not automatically close the door when you retracted the jetway, and it's probably due to the fact that that jetway was in the wrong position. So, all right, we'll just go ahead and continue on here because really at this point there's not much more we could do about it, right? I mean, really, when it gets right down to it, hey, how about that? A little air conditioning on top of the regular air conditioning. So, you know what? We'll just look at it from this side. I'm watching the flight instruments up there. So once again, if anybody has any questions or anything, and again, I would be embarrassed, but I don't care. This is going to be preserved on YouTube forever. And the really professional guys that do this stuff, like Captain Canada. Have you watched Captain Canada yet? He's just amazing. Yeah, Jay says just hold your breath, you'll be fine. Well, I'm going to be fine anyway. We'll just go ahead and fly this way and land this way. Let's look at our progress and see when we are due to land. All right, so we're top of climb here in just about another 3 minutes or so. And we're due to land in Phoenix at about, let's see, 45 minutes from now. So that's not too bad. I hope you guys, once again, are liking the audio a little bit better. I can turn my head around. I can look at everything. And of course, the mic stays in the same place, so that's going to be good. Um, let's see, what else was I going to say there? All right. I see we got 7 viewers at the moment. That's great, guys. I am so happy that you've decided to spend part of your Tuesday evening with me here, and it's fun. I don't know if you've got any other hobbies that you do. Of course, I'm a ham radio operator. For those of you who may not know me, and we run a system called SkyHubLink.com, which is a ham radio repeater internet-based linking system. I'll tell you what, for the time being, I'm just going to shut that down. We'll just shut that down there, and we'll see if we end up getting some air traffic control here in just a minute. What I'm going to look for is them to pop up here, watching vPilot, the vPilot screen here. So yeah, there you go. Jay says the audio is much better. Thanks, Jay. I love the headset. Yeah, again, not bad for a homebrew thing. I've had this pair of Cost Pro 4A headphones forever, and they've really served me well as a radio disc jockey, and for a lot of other stuff that I've done. And now we'll have them here for Flight Simulator, and it allows me to wear my good headphones, and they're comfortable and they sound real good, and it's really a good thing there to be able to have my hands free. I'm going to let's just switch up the airplane here and get rid of me for just a minute. You see, we're coming through 35,600 feet over there on the right, and we're at 238 knots, so that's good. I can actually manually speed that up a little bit. It might rip our door off, but we're not going to worry about that since we've got that. I'm going to have to check that from now on. We'll definitely do that the next time. But we're over western New Mexico, and of course eastern Arizona. Oh, how about that? Now this is really, really cool. This is really super cool. We look down and we see the interstate there, and I believe we're going to be flying over Gallup, New Mexico here in just a moment. You know, one thing I've always wanted pilots to do that they don't is to kind of, on occasion, if you look out your right window, you'll see, you know, such and that sort of thing. So yeah, that yeah, we're right over the interstate, and we'll be coming up on. Oh no, I'm sorry. We are south of the interstate. We are south of the interstate. We're just a little bit to the east southeast of El Moro, New Mexico, and southwest of Pacton Springs. Hey, Harry, how you doing, man? All right, my buddy Harry Russell, another ham operator and radio engineer. Harry, what an honor to have you jump in here and say hello. Don't pay any attention to our open door there on the aircraft. We had a software malfunction of some sort. But next time I'm going to make sure to hit that door button. But Harry, great to see you. Harry's call sign N0SFP. Harry, hope you're doing real well out there, and miss you back here. Have friends ask about you from time to time. We'll have to try to get on the Columbine net on 3.989 sometime, maybe go off frequency and chat a little bit. But Harry, that's awesome. That is so cool. We'll have to talk. I think I still have your cell phone number too, so I'll try to give you a shout there. We'll go ahead and turn up some of the engine sounds here. It won't hurt from the outside of the aircraft. We won't be getting that alarm. All right, cruising altitude of 38,000 feet. That looks good. Let's go ahead and signal. All right, Albuquerque, Unicom, Southwest 523, 38,000 feet. Cruise altitude on the way to Phoenix. That's just really ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, too funny. Yeah, like I said, the pro guys are going to be laughing at me here as we look out the right window. Let's go ahead and look around the cabin for just a minute and kind of move around the cabin. Let's see. Yeah, this is where I want to go, and we'll go up here. And you know, while the software loads passengers, this software does not render them in the aircraft, which is you know, too bad, really. It'd be nice. In X-Plane 11, we'll do a flight in X-Plane 11 sometime here, but in X-Plane 11, you do have some passengers sitting in the aircraft, which is kind of cool. I think it'll be kind of fun to run up here into the flight attendants area and look out the open door. How about that? Anybody got some parachutes? Great time to go skydiving. How about that? That would be really cool. Or not from 38,000 feet. So let's go back into the flight deck, and of course we still have our alarm. I wish there was some way to silence that. There may be, but there's still so much about this aircraft that I do not know. You know, and the more I read, the more I realize I don't know, and will probably never know as much as all the real pilots do. It's just phenomenal. The books they have to study, everything that they have to keep up with to be able to fly these aircraft. And, you know, we should all feel really, really safe because these guys train and train and train and train. You'll probably hear me say that a million times if you, view my streams on occasion. I'm going to try to do this once a week. I don't know if Tuesday nights are going to be the nights that I do this all the time. My wife works on Tuesday nights. She and I like to spend a lot of time together in the evenings. Always great, and so I have been doing this on Tuesday nights. But we'll see how it all works out. This is also the night for the astronomy net on the SkyUplink repeater linking system, and I kind of like to participate in that too. But this night works best for me right now. So I once again appreciate all of you who have joined us, all of you who are viewing. If you haven't said hello yet, please jump on the chat there and say hello if you've got any comments or questions. Be glad to have those. Boy, that's going to drive us crazy, isn't it? All right, let's look back at our flight progress here. Okay, we're 76 nautical miles from top of descent. So that's going to happen in about another 11 or 12 minutes. Yeah, see that wind? Boy, that wind prediction was sure right on, wasn't it? One thing I want to do now is I want to go back to our legs page, and I want to bring up the runway that we're told we're going to be landing on right now. We're going to enter that into the FMC, and we're going to go to our fixed page. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up some range rings around the airport and runway 26. So we'll enter that there, and we're going to set a range ring of 5 miles. Range ring of 10 miles, and you can see the information come up there as I enter that, and it's going to tell us an estimated time of arrival, a distance to go, and what altitude we'll be at during that time according to the flight plan. Now, it's possible that the flight plan may change a little bit, and a little bit later we'll see the rings come up in the MFD side of the flight displays. So that's good. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look in my information here for Phoenix. So we're going to put in KPHX there. You know, actually, one thing I could do, and maybe I'll do this next time, is we'll put this up on a little nav map. So you guys just bear with the alarm there, and we'll ignore that. So at Phoenix right now, if I get the weather for Phoenix, the METAR report is saying winds out of 190 at 10, so we're going to have a crosswind landing one way or the other. Runways at Phoenix run east-west. We will not be able to land without a bit of a crosswind there. The altimeter is 2970. We'll check this again unless we end up getting a controller. And right now there's no controller that's available. You know what we can do, though, is we can probably listen to the one that we can receive, although we're not in his airspace. So let me go ahead and dial that up. That's going to be a frequency of 135.175. So let's see if we get some air traffic control audio in here. At this point in time, I'm going to be making announcements on Unicom. All right, so right now, once again, the altimeter is 2970. So we'll kind of start getting set up for a little bit of this. So we'll set the altimeter under the standard to 2990. Okay, that's good there. I'm going to have a headache from that alarm tonight. So once again, hey, if you haven't smashed that thumbs up button yet, please do. Appreciate that. That'd be pretty cool. And let me know where you are, where you're watching. That would be really great. It would be really cool to get to know where you are. Okay, so we're making a turn. You can see our top of descent. We're following the flight plan. The airplane is flying itself. We could go ahead and speed this up a little bit. So I'm going to set the manual speed, and I'm going to go ahead and run the manual speed up to about, okay, it's giving me an error past 260. All right, it probably doesn't want to do past 260. So if we look over on the PFD now, we can see that the speed bug is set. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to back that down just a hair. We'll back that down to about 255 or so. There's a little ATC action.
34, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain flight level 190.
Okay.
Descend at my discretion down to 190, Southwest 36.
Hey, how about that? We've got Phoenix ground has come up there. So once we get on the ground,
American 198, contact Memphis Center 133.65.
Now, the audio we're hearing here, just in case you didn't know, is actually a flight sim air traffic controller community, and they integrate with the flight simulators and actually provide some air traffic control. So that's pretty cool that that we have these capabilities to be able to do that. Jay says, is that real ATC? Once again, it's in the VATSIM community, Jay. It's not, a real air traffic controller somewhere, but that may be self-apparent. But yeah, it's real ATC for flight sim. It's called VATSIM, VATSIM, and I'm using some software called vPilot to integrate with that. And I noticed that, there's Phoenix ATIS. How about that? All right, so there's actually going to be Phoenix ATIS. So I'm going to put that. Okay, I'm going to put that in the second comm there. So 127575. Let's dial that up. Let me show you the radios there. So we're dialing up on the right-hand windows. 127575, and I actually have a radio board here on my setup that I'm dialing that in. Okay, 127575. Let's switch that to active and turn on the audio. And when we get within range of Phoenix ATIS, we'll be able to hear that. All right, if we go back and check everything once more and ignore the stupid door open, we'll see our top of descent now is about 38 miles out. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and let the autopilot control the speed once again. Sped ourselves up there just a little bit. All right, that's going to drop our airspeed back in about the 237 range. Yeah, Jay, essentially real virtual. Look up VATSIM, VATSIM. I got to remember to look at the camera there. I'm looking at the chat screen, which is over here, and the camera is there. Okay. And then we'll begin our descent into Phoenix. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set our radio altimeter equipment to barometer because we'll be using that there. I'm going to change our mileage scale on the MFD to 20. Take a look out the left side window there. Let's look out the right side wing. I love this view in this aircraft. The AM noise on the radio is pretty cool. It's very realistic, isn't it, Jay? Pretty cool stuff. So, we're looking out over the right wing and the engine there. That looks good. We'll take a look out over the left wing. My wife and I, when we flew home from Indianapolis the other day, we were sitting on this on the right side of the airplane, and we essentially had, let me see.
34 leaving my airspace to the south, Houston, Gulf line, radar service from Ministry to about your pre-field.
Let's go back a few rows here, and I'll show you about where we were sitting on a Southwest 737. Yep, it was about right here. Actually, one more. No, we were right here. We were right here, had this view in the window. And, yep, looking out over that part of the wing, and I could see the pylon of the engine there. Somebody done scratched that window up. How about that? All right, we'll come back up on the flight deck and ignore the stupid alarm. All right, so right now, until we hear from Phoenix ATIS, I'm going to go ahead and dial that up on the Unicom frequency for now. And 575.
West 200 at 10. Visibility 10.
There's Phoenix ATIS.
Few clouds at 18,000. Temperature 38. Dew point -4. Altimeter 2970. Simultaneous approach is in use. Arrivals from north, expect visual approach runway 26. Arrivals from south, expect visual approach runway 25 left. Departing runway 25 right. Notices to air mission. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Prefix hold short instruction. Mult cranes in vicinity of airport. Civic no times in effect for satellites on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Okay, information Sierra. And that read exactly.
Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport is information Sierra 0051 Zulu.
Okay, I'll get rid of that for the time being. That is really, really super cool because that is about exactly what the METAR report is reporting in real time for Phoenix. So they said expect runway 25. So I'm going to look that up on my airport diagram here. And we're going to have to do a little change in the flight program. Okay, 25 left, 25 right. Should have written that down. I'm going to get that back here real quick.
Airport. Civic no times in effect for satellites on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Okay, we'll listen for the
Phoenix
runway
Sky
again.
Harbor Airport is information Sierra 0051 Zulu. 1200 at 10. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 18,000. Temperature 38. Dew point -4. Altimeter 2970. Simultaneous approaches in use. Arrivals from north, expect visual approach runway 26. Arrivals from south, expect visual approach runway 25 left. Depart runway 25 right. Notices to air mission. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. Prefix hold short instruction. Mult cranes in vicinity of airport. Civic no times in effect for satellites on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Okay, so we have information Sierra, and we're going to be landing on runway 25 left. 25 left. Those of you who can look up information, you might want to give that a shot sometime on the different airports and the different the different runways and all of that. I use some software called flightplan.go. You can look that up. You can also just look up any number of things on the internet for the runway layouts at certain airports. I'll try to get a few of those ready for you next time. All right, so we've got that. We can see that Phoenix ground is 132.50 or .55. We will need that. So let's make sure I'm on 55. Okay, I hope I have not just talked myself past top of climb, and I did. All right, we're going to go ahead and begin our descent, and we're going to have to do this manually. So, I'm going to go ahead and set up a vertical descent speed. And we can, I was talking and I was doing all of that. That's where you have two people and a co-pilot. So we're essentially 2,100 feet at this point above the intended flight path. But we'll get back there in just a minute, and then we'll switch on the vertical navigation back on. So we'll watch that for just a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and decrease our altitude we're going to need. We'll look up the exact altitude that we're going to need for the ILS entry here in just a minute. All right, we're coming through 36,000 feet. We're about 1,900 feet above the glide path, so that's all right. You can automatically, or you can actually manually correct for that. Since I was not watching for the top of descent, going through all the ATIS information there. Okay. We may need some drag here on the aircraft, so we'll watch for one of the FMCs here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put a little drag on the airplane with the speed brakes, and we can look out the left side window, and we can see the speed brakes activated to flight D10. And we're not quite where we need to be on the descent path, but speed is good. We're descending just fine. Not a problem here. I'm going to set up our, we're going to do a couple of pre-landing checks here. I'm going to set our automatic brakes to maximum because this is a 7,000 foot runway and I would like to vacate it sooner. And the next thing we need to do then, okay, we're coming through 85 or 850 feet. I want to set the VNAV before we set up for the approach to runway 25 left into Phoenix. Okay, coming through 500 feet, we'll soon be able to re-engage the vertical navigation. And that will do us just fine. Jay says 25 left means 25 landing bearing on the left-hand runway, right? Essentially, I'll give you the exact course here in just a minute, Jay, once I re-engage our vertical navigation. Coming through 30,200 feet, so everything is looking good. You can see the indicator moving up towards our flight path. All right, coming through 50 feet, we'll re-engage the VNAV, and we'll let the aircraft take back over, and I'll turn the speed brake off. All right, our airport altitude here is 1,135 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and bring our altitude down to 1,100, and we'll call it 12. No, let's make it 1,100 feet below that. All right, we're going to take a look at now at our fuel when we land. So right now we've got 10.3. We'll have 9.5. That's a difference of 0.8. And we're going to subtract 0.8 from the gross weight at landing, so that will be 104.3 minus 0.8, which will then be 103.5. Put that there, and that changed our VREF speed, so we'll land with 30 degrees of flaps and 119 knots. And we'll set that as our VREF speed for our approach reference for landing. All right, that is good and set, so we'll continue our descent. Phoenix Unicom, Southwest 523, approximately 80 miles west of the airport, coming through 26,700 feet, Southwest 523. Okay, so they're still not giving us anybody for tower approach. They're giving us Phoenix ground, so that will do for now. Hey, Daryl, how are you? Daryl, great to see you, man. Glad you got in there. Pull up wind shear. No, it's pretty smooth up here at 25,000 feet. We're descending into Phoenix on runway 25 left, which means, Daryl, so glad to have you here, W3ORR. Now, Daryl knows a little bit about flying, so I'll try not to embarrass myself. But, Daryl, you'll be interested to know we had a bit of a malfunction in the beginning. I'll go ahead and show you. When the jetway pulled away, the door did not automatically shut, and we got up to about 10,000 feet, and we started getting atmosphere alarms in the airplane. I wouldn't get embarrassed, but you know what? We're doing this just for fun. So we'll pretend like that door's shut and ignore the alarm. Yeah, 25 left. So let's go ahead and get into Phoenix. And we're going to do an ILS to 25 left, which should not really change our flight legs that much. We'll have a discontinuity there. We'll fix that. Runway 25 left. All right, that looks good. We are set for going into 25 left. Now we need to set our frequencies for the ILS on 25 left. Okay, so we'll set up the course. The course is going to be 258. And 258 on the first officer's course side. And because it doesn't look like we're going to have any real ATC coming at us, go ahead and set the heading to 258 and get that set up and out of the way. Okay, we are set up for that. We can take a real quick look at the mountains there to the east of Phoenix. Okay, everything is looking really, really good. All right, I keep getting this line on the FMC that says can't do 260 knots at Eagle, so we're really just going to ignore that for the minute. We're not far enough out on the speed that it really makes that much difference. Yeah, I'm getting a headache from the alarm and the zero pressurization, so there you go. Hey, if you haven't smashed that thumbs up button yet, would appreciate you doing that. All right, we're just going to hold this speed and attitude and everything for now. We're looking real good. We're coming through 20,000 feet. We know that the altimeter is set for 2970. That's good. That's what we got from the ATIS just a moment ago. Our, let's see, the localizer frequency is going to be 110.75. So we're going to set up our nav radios for 110.75 on the left and 110.75 on the right. All right, our ILS frequencies are set. Yeah, you know, Daryl, there's a master caution button. We hit that and it's not silencing the alarm, so there's a couple of odds and ends in here that this is the first time this has happened in I don't know, 2 or 3 years of flying this thing, both the Zibo 737 and X-Plane 11, and now the PMDG 737 and Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've not had this issue before, so this is a new issue. All right, so our entry altitude for the ILS is going to be 3,000 feet. When we hit that point in the descent, we will reset that for the go-around altitude. In this case, will be 4,000 feet. Looking at the approach chart for runway 25 left at Phoenix. Yeah, the jetway almost took my head off. Yeah, for some reason, Daryl, if you go back and you see the replay, sometime you'll be able to see how for some reason the simulator had the jetway literally right through the middle of the aircraft and the opening coming in the right door. I have not seen that before in this software. I wish I had caught that beforehand, and I would have tried to maybe got rid of the jetway entirely, but there's obviously some software bug in the Albuquerque jetway software there, so that's what I'm thinking at this point. or the gate agent had a bad day. Yeah, that could be the case. All right, I want to kind of look at our approach path in there, and yeah, that's looking pretty good. You can see the 15-mile circle from the runway start to come in there, and you know what? That's for 2.6, so we got to fix that. Let's go back to the fix page, and we're going to set this up. So we got to go to the legs page first. We got to put in runway 25 left. We're going to go to the fix page. We're going to put that there. That'll clear that. And we'll go /5 /10 and /15 and reset our range rings for that. All right, looks like we're going to land here at 57, so we're about 12 minutes or so away from landing. Okay, we can hit our altitude, which we should have done through 18,000 feet, so we're slightly below the required navigation profile, but that's all right. You're going to watch that come back into play here on the PFD on the left-hand side. Yeah, we know. Shut up. Okay, we're back on profile pretty decently, just slightly under it, but that's all right. The airplane will correct itself. Okay, so we're going to be about 33 miles out. Okay, I just had a beep. I'm sure you heard that beep, beep, beep too. We still don't. Oh, Phoenix approach. We've got Phoenix approach. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and dial that in. Phoenix approach 122.650. That was letting us know that a controller had just signed on.
Right, 180, vector to final, Southwest 3789.
Phoenix approach Southwest 523 with you, about 40 miles out, inbound for runway 25 left, Southwest 523.
Southwest 523, Phoenix approach, squawk 0715, Phoenix altimeter 2970.
Okay, squawk 0715, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, roger, squawk 0715, altimeter 29.70, Southwest 523. Yeah, this mousing with this over this has been a little problematic here in the past. Because I need to set up our squawk for 075. Let's see if it'll do it that way.
Southwest 3789, turn right heading 230, roll out Phoenix Airport, 1 o'clock, 15 miles, 1 second.
Zero. Golly,
Right,
this
230,
mouse is
southwest
touchy.
of the airport.
Says 3789,
07.
25 left.
5.
Clear visual 25 left, Southwest 3789.
Okay, come on, give me the outer. All right, and ident 0750.
Alright, see you guys flashing up the northeast, identity is oh, I see what happened. Southwest 523, squawk 0715, 750, 0715, 0750.
Yeah, roger that. Southwest 523 0715 on the squawk.
So 523, radar contact 24 miles northeast of speed of VOR. Phoenix landing west, expect the visual runway 25 left, Phoenix altimeter, let's go.
All right, thank you very much. Expect the visual runway 25 left, Southwest 523. Okay, that's pretty cool, isn't it? So we actually have approach departure with Phoenix, and we'll have ground once we get down on the runway. I really wish that alarm would go away, but there's just not going to be much we can do about it right now, unfortunately. Hey, how about that? Managed to get rid of it. Okay, that'll be good. You'll be able to hear the ATC even better. All right, we're coming through 8,700 feet. Let's go ahead and landing and taxi lights are on, and we'll verify that. Okay, they are on.
Southwest 1670, ready for departure. Good evening.
Is that?
Okay, we need to slow the aircraft down a little bit.
No way. Southwest 1678, Phoenix departure. Good evening. Runway 25 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 25 right, Southwest 1678.
How you doing, Port Charles?
Okay, and there's Phoenix out in front of us.
Dean.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give us some flaps there
What's up, man?
and start to slow us down.
So 3789 traffic with departs parallel, wind 190 at 10, runway 25 left, quarter line.
Land 25 left, Southwest 3789.
Southwest 1678 traffic, 5 miles on runway 25 left.
Roger.
So it's 523, field 2 o'clock, 15 miles, port of site.
Okay, Southwest 523, have the field in sight.
So 523, roger, cleared visual approach, runway 25 left.
Cleared for the visual, runway 25 left, Southwest 523, thank you.
Phoenix departure, good evening, American 722, ready to go, runway 26.
American 722, Phoenix departure, runway 26, line up for lane.
Okay, we
Line up
need
and
to
away.
descend a little more.
American 722.
But otherwise, we're looking pretty good. We'll go ahead and descend.
Southwest 1678, 2500, climbing 8,000.
So 1678, rear contact, climb, maintain, follow 210.
Follow 210, Southwest 1678.
What do you guys think about? What do you guys think about this air traffic control? Pretty cool stuff, huh? Okay, we're making our turn in here at 15 miles to the field. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the VOR lock so that there's the airport runway lights there flashing at us. We're going to come in right about over that lake approximately. Check one more thing on the FMC. Okay, we are looking pretty good. I'll let you see the instruments there as we get down towards final.
American 722, runway 26, clear for takeoff, 19010.
Pike, clear for takeoff, runway 26, American 722.
So 3789, turn right on Foxtrot. Left Foxtrot 11, hold short, runway 25, right at Foxtrot 11 and State Park.
Okay, we're going to call for flaps 5.
Left at 25. At Foxtrot 11, hold short. We're going to Terminal 4.
And we're making our turn to
Ready
final.
to the ramp, sir.
You say that again?
Ready to enter the ramp.
We're
going to Charlie 4.
Okay, what taxiway do you enter the ramp on? Delta 10, 11, 12, 13?
Delta 12.
Phoenix approach Southwest 523, turning final about 8 miles out for 25 left.
American 722, radar contact.
American 722, 2.9 for 8,000.
There's our runway.
Southwest 523, my 25 left, go to land.
Clear to land, Southwest 523, thank you.
American 722, climb maintain.
Okay, 5 miles out. Flaps 15, gear down.
Again for 722.
American 722.
Yeah, Daryl, that might be Tempe Town Lake. Not 100% sure, but anyway. All right, guys, we're going in on a final here.
Okay, 210.
Cleared to land,
American
runway 25
722.
left. Welcome to Phoenix. All right, looking good on the PAPI lights. You can see that our localizer and glide slope indicators are right on the money and passing through 150 knots. Right now we're at flaps 15. Speed's coming down. Now that crosswind is going to be getting us a little bit. Actually, the wind is right off the left nose of the airplane, so we're really looking pretty good here. All right, go ahead and full flaps 30.
1,000.
And we're going to bug speed down to reference speed. A little above the glide slope there. Okay, coming back on. We're a little below the glide slope, but that's all right. Gear down, 3 locked. Going to turn on the APUs and have them running, so we'll have power once we shut the aircraft down.
Airspeed low.
And I'm getting an airspeed low alarm, which I'm not sure why, but we'll go ahead and fix that. And I'm going to take over the aircraft. I am flying the aircraft now. Yeah, shut up. Okay. All right, speed is looking good. We're a little off center into that headwind.
So 1678, climb
Okay.
base Albuquerque, now close.
2 red, 2 white, looking good.
Take care.
Southwest 1670, CD.
See you, man.
Not looking too bad here.
Southwest 3789, cross my 25 right of Foxtrot 11, continue to
Move that airplane down to the lower right, taxiing for takeoff.
200.
Okay, ready?
Cross the
Here
Fox
we come in.
Echo Delta 12 to the ramp. Southwest 3789. Thanks for the ATC.
Okay.
No problem, good night.
Sync rate 30.
Yeah, that crosswind's really getting me a little bit. Okay. A little rough. Okay, full thruster reverse. And we're under 80 knots. I'm going to go ahead and do that and take over. Approach Southwest 523, vacating the runway.
So fast 93, roger, turn right on Foxtrot and stay parked.
Thank you very much. Good job. Have a great night.
Huh?
Phoenix ground, Southwest 523, just off runway 25 left on Foxtrot, taxiing to gate. Okay, Phoenix ground should be on 13255. Okay, I'm
So Albuquerque center closed, ready service terminated, frequency change approved.
We're on our own.
okay. Phoenix ground, Southwest 523 on Foxtrot, turning Foxtrot 6. Need to cross the runway.
Southwest 523 Phoenix, ground, good evening. Where'd you say you're parking?
Want to park C gates.
Southwest 523, roger. Next right onto Echo, then Tango, then Delta.
Echo, Tango, then Delta, Southwest 523. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and, yeah, you know, Daryl. Yeah, this sim is very realistic, especially when you're using the VAT sim controllers. That landing kind of sucked, and I did not have the replay on to record it. Was not super happy with that landing. Was a little high, and the crosswind was quite tricky. But yeah, welcome to Phoenix. We're going to go over here to the C Southwest gates. And there you go. I'm thinking maybe next week we'll fly into Burbank. That ought to be real tricky. You know, Burbank's tricky anyway. Burbank is really tricky. So hang on to your hats, boys. Okay, we're going to go up here to Tango. We're going to need to be on the exact other side of the airport. And I'm glad there's not any other airplanes there, because they can see me with my door hanging wide open. How about that? All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here tonight. Hope you enjoyed that flight. We certainly will do another one here. I'm going to go ahead and take the T Tango to the C gates, which are on the north side of the airport. I really probably should have, you know what, actually I'm going to do that. Let me do this. Ground Southwest 523, correction, would like to go to D gates, D12, via Echo here, if possible.
Southwest 523 is a lot of background noise. You say B as in Bravo gates?
No, D Delta.
Southwest 523, roger. Continue Tango, then left on Tango, then right on Delta, and that'll get you to the Delta gate.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Southwest 523. All right, let's take a look outside the aircraft here and get away from the stupid-looking door. All right, we'll go to the middle Delta gates there. That'll be D11. So we're going to make a left turn here pretty quick. Noticing some frame drop here. Yeah, Daryl, lab service. Yeah, I think we're probably going to do a whole lot of servicing here. Okay. All right. Not sure which number gate this is, but it'll do. Roll forward a little more, and there we go. And parking brake set. All right, we're going to go ahead. The APU is on. We're going to go to APU Gen. APU Gen is up. Put the packs in auto. Isolation valve to open. All right, that looks good. All right, the fuel turn off, engines off, and engine shutdown. All right, we'll go now to the FMC, and we'll get into our post-flight section, go to ground services, chocks removed. All right, guys, should we request, flaps down, pulling into gate, alerts ground of distress situation aboard the aircraft. Well, I can only do one thing at one time, Daryl. No, I didn't know that. That's very interesting to know. Okay, chocks are set. Let's see if we can get the jetway over. Hey, here comes the jetway. Is it going to reach the airplane? Because that's a long way over there. And we can turn the lights off, too. It helps to have a co-pilot, you know. All right, is it going to come over? Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, how about that? This jetway is working correctly. Yeah, no, Daryl, I'm laughing too. I'm laughing too. All right, let's go back in here and start deboarding passengers. Okay, so we're going to set a target passenger number of 0, and we're going to put that in. And we're going to start deboarding, and we'll see the passengers start to go. All right, first passenger is off, second passenger is off. That's good. Let's go ahead and request the baggage loaders and carts and get them in here. And we're going to look for 0 pounds of baggage. So we'll enter that in. Okay, and we'll wait for the baggage handlers to go. All right, there we go. Now, are these doors going to automatically open? If they don't, yep, see, they're automatically opening. See, something was screwball with that thing. Okay, here comes the other baggage cart, or the baggage loader, I should say. And we'll watch this for just a minute. All right, there we go. All right, and we'll wait for those. We'll get a green start on that. Let's go back into the cockpit. Okay, the engine start levelers are cut off. The transponder, let's, and I need to sign off from VATSIM. Phoenix Ground, Southwest 523, going to sign off. Good night. Thank you for your help. Enjoyed it.
No problem. Have a good night.
All right, you guys got to see how the VATSIM worked there too. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect and close out of that. I'm going to work on setting up this. See, it works some from here, but it doesn't give me that second. You know, that might actually be a lot more helpful because he had said 715, and I did not write that down. That's another thing. You've really got to write down a lot of this stuff that the ATC guys say. I have just recently started using that. We'll go ahead and reset those. We'll take the auto brake to off. That's good. Going down through the checklist here. Fuel pumps are off. Window heaters and the pitot heat. Let's go ahead and turn those off. Window heaters off. Oh, and I didn't hardly do this at all. That's awfully low. I got to see if I can raise the volume on some of those indicators. Okay, recirc fan is off. Packs are off because most of the people are getting out of there. Isolation valve there. Flight directors are off. Flight directors off. Okay, engine hydraulic pumps and engine electric pumps. Going through the checklist here are off. You say you can hear the switch closing. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're not going to turn the... Well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and get ground power. Going to have to request the ground power. Request. Connecting. Go outside the aircraft and look for that little guy. There's the nose. Where are you? Hey, there he is. Okay. All right. You know what else we can do is we can start unloading all the baggage. All right. That's on its way out. Ground power is probably connected at the moment. Yep, it's connected. So we'll go back up here. We'll change our voltmeter to ground power. And the ground power is attached. Okay, that's switched over good. Now we can turn off the APU and the APU bleed. We don't need that anymore. We don't need the APU switch. So there you go. Welcome to Phoenix, guys. Passengers are unloading and the baggage is unloading. And I think that will probably wrap it up here this evening for Southwest 523 from Albuquerque to Phoenix. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll look for you next time. By the way, I am going to have a new email alert for this. If you'd like to be on the email alert, email me, KE0VH, Kilo Echo Zero Victor Hotel at Outlook.com. No, Daryl, don't really need the air connected because we're shutting down. If I were going to do a turnaround, then yeah, we would do that, but don't need it right now. Yeah, you like the shirt? The shirt's pretty cool, huh? my wife says, don't embarrass me at the real airport. All right, guys, with that from Phoenix, we're going to wrap it up, shut it down, and call it a night. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I hope to see you again here soon. We'll do this most Tuesdays, but again, look for your emails, and I hope you enjoyed it. It will be recorded, or it was recorded. It will be on my website, KE0VH, Captain Jack. So take a look when you can. Good night. Once again, God bless, and we will see you later.